točila sem, teda to by mala čo robiť, tam
že toto blato je. útočil.
nobody here in the water, but here, yes, you have every time all the people in the water because it's the nudist beach. Everybody here, right? Yes, nudist. It's very quickly. Nothing. It's dry. It's human.
Have the tour go there. Topless beaches. Have the tour go there.
You can see now all the people on the right with the water is very clean. Look right there, it's clean. Yeah. No dirty. Because you have the Atlantic Ocean area from here in the Gibraltar Strait is continuously renovated with the currents. But it's fresh. Now at this time between 18, 20, no more.
Yeah, I'll see it.
Have some people in the water. Some people, yes, into the water. The founder, when arrived, the boats from Mediterranean Sea in this case, goes to, do you remember your right, all the building in the more or less 30 last years. Come on. This one in 1916, no more. Now look at this. The right. Oh yes, it's a big city. Very big. No more sailors, no more small town. Those resort, hospital, school, the high school, everything, of course. Now, yes, it's the cabins is working very better from today. No, because in the horizon you can see it's not very good day today. But normally you have a wine. You have two different wine. The wine from the east is Levante, and the one from the west, the far west, is Poniente. East and ones are different. When you have the east, so you have no cloud, so you can't see. And the cabins is just here, in the right. There's the Tivoli. Yeah, yes, the way continue. Bull rings. Bull rings. Yes, bullfight. Just here, you're right. Okay, this one. Bullfight.
Wow.
In Spanish, Plaza de Toros. Toros.
Spain and Mexico, I think.
In the 1 century before Christ. Let me tell you that mostly is all underground, okay? Unfortunately, we cannot see the whole Roman theatre because on top of they built. That's why I have a neoclassic, baroque, well, Gothic, baroque, and some part are neoclassic also. It's locally this cathedral is known. Construction comes from America. The gold, the silver, and the money comes from America. Many of the beautiful, famous balneary, very famous balneary, is called Nuestra Señora de la Palma. And just behind this little corner here is the only little beach that the old town have. You can see the rock that is in here. Well, the rock to build many of the buildings come from this part, okay? This also used to be a little port for the Roman Empire, and Natura de España, and we call it a Constitution Monument. And there is where also we can see the Great Hercules. Neoclassic style. And this little square is also called Plaza de San Juan de Dios, very popular and become very, very busy after 11 or 12 o'clock, midday. So,
I didn't know I was going to get a construction material.
so it's very, very popular in the city, this beach, where women were allowed to come for a swim. That's why it's called the Women's Beach. That happens in the 1920s, and it was the only place where women can, for a little swim in the old days. Beautiful, as you can see. Cadiz, the only free city from Napoleon. And this beach in summertime become very, very busy. Like I say, summer season. This is a very popular place to come for holidays, national people. Torre del Tajo, just on the left-hand side, and that tower was again very important in the old day, Cape of Trafalgar. And there is where everything happens. The Battle of Spanish ships, Franco-Spanish fleet, and is where also he died, took place.
About 2 million tourists from different nationalities. Usually during the winter we have many English, Scandinavians and Germans. And why? Because in a certain way our winter almost corresponds to their summer. Later, during the spring, will arrive the French, and from July until Portuguese, and by the Spanish. So we don't have any high or low season when speaking about tourism. Once that we have some, but the peak of the season is always at Christmas and on the New Year's Eve. Every in December, Fonchal is decorated with about 1 million lights. 2006, according to the Guinness Book of Records, Madeira had the best show of fireworks in the world. That's the reason why 1 year later, in 2007, 12 opened from 9 until 7. We don't have any siesta like in Spain. And the best shops in Fonchal are around the cathedral.
The other one?
The yellow one.
And the other side?
No, exactly this side.
Okay.
The shuttle will stop on the left-hand side. And now, on the left, you can see the Saint Catherine. Every 4 years, we have elections to elect the Madeireans president, the mainlands, Portugal president, and for the European Union, Portugal and Spain. A 5-star hotel called Casino Park. The Casino Park was built by a famous Brazilian architect, Oscar Niemeyer. The Hotel Ritz was built in 1891. After more than a century, is still today considered one of the best 25 TC of Austria. Gregory Peck, Sarah Bernard Shaw, Amy Johnson, Sir Winston Churchill, Roger Moore, the old James Bond, the King and Queen of Spain, amongst others. Nowadays, the island has an hotel capacity of about 30,000 beds. And all of them are fully booked for the Christmas, for the New Year's Eve. But in Madeira, we have just two artificial yellow sandy beaches. Nevertheless, some of the hotels have the access to the sea, Gulf Stream, and some of the hotels have the access to the sea. Last year, in December, Madeira was recognized by the world. Along the Santa Maria, we have very good restaurants as well. Going to do today, please pass it around. I will first stop against that's the reason why they gave this unusual name. As time went by 100 meters. Until today, we have never been able to fish a baby or a small scarabed fish, so we don't know at 1,000 meters. The first spada, the first black scarabed fish, caught by chance in Madeiran waters in grapes on trellises. Then we'll stop again in Cabo Girau. Cabo Girau is the second high time. We are going to stop as well in St. Vincent Village. And you will have lunch today in Porto Muniz. Porto Muniz, it is one of the most beautiful villages of the summer resort. And in the afternoon, we are going to cross the plateau of...
On peut parler en français, mais à l'extérieur, on va s'arrêter une dizaine de fois. Et à l'extérieur du cœur, on peut parler en français, ça c'est pas un problème. Mais dans le cœur, je sais pas.
Oui, bien sûr.
De toute façon, on parle en anglais.
Mais est-ce que tout le monde parle français?
Non.
On est probablement les seuls.
The turbines for the hydraulic energy. You can leave your things inside. On the left hand side, you can see the bay of the fishing village of Câmara de Lobos. Sir Winston Churchill came to Madeira in Madeira painting from a small viewpoint that you are going to see on the left hand side. That's the reason why next to the bananas are cultivated in Madeira since the 16th century. Nowadays, we have mainly two varieties of bananas, the dwarf and the silver banana. And we have melons. The farmers will cut the bananas while they are still green. Then they will cut off near the soil the mother plant, which is going to be used to feed the cattle. And then they will separate the babies, and separately each banana plant will give one red flower and one bunch of bananas. In Madeira, they are cultivated all origin of the island, and at the same time, because of our subtropical climate, they are transported by boat during 24 hours to Lisbon.
You also have mangoes, eh?
We have as well many passion fruit. We have the philodendron as well, the Swiss cheese plant. We have many different. They are cultivated in greenhouses, and using the plastic bag, they can grow faster, like in a greenhouse. You can see, as you can also see, we have many banana plants in Madeira. Richard III of England, he chose to die drowning in a Malmsey wine cask. And in America, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin, and George Washington were all connoisseurs of the Madeira wine. As a matter of fact, the Declaration of Independence of the United States was celebrated with the Madeira wine. Well, the island is not percent of the working population of the island. Nowadays is connected with the tourism, 20% with agriculture, 10% with the fishing. And the rest of the working population in Madeira has many different jobs, but 60% is connected with the tourism. So the tourism is the only industry in Madeira, what means that we must import millions of things.
Est-ce que je peux appeler à toi toutes les 2 minutes, vas-y. Ah oui,
$2 million years ago took place the last volcanic eruptions, and nowadays the island has no volcanic machines, cannot be used on the agriculture duties. Everything is handmade. The soil is cultivated from the sea level until a maximum altitude of 700 meters, but always in small terraces, otherwise agriculture would have been impossible. The agriculture in Madeira is considered to be a part-time job, not a full-time, and we used to see the people farming the terraces on Saturdays, on Sundays, and during the holidays because of the minimum wage. Nowadays, the minimum, at the same time in Spain they had Franco and in Italy Mussolini. It seems that at the beginning the three dictators were very close friends. 2 years later, in 1976, was made a new constitution. And according to this new constitution, the Madeiran archipelago
Seems to be a lot of slums.
There you go.
J'avais pas trop le choix.
No problem. The autobus, to je problem. The second bus, that's the problem.
Tomorrow you can go to the botanical gardens that are situated.
Za to objavila normálne podpísať. Oh, isn't that gorgeous? Wow. To je úžasný tunel.
And after that date, Madeira became an important port of call, and all the trading with them cereals, water, and some Madeira wine. That's the reason why we believe the symbols were brought from China. The Madeiran people is very has the heaviest rainfall. In April, we also have what they call in England April showers, and we are going to stop until 12:15. On the left-hand side, you can see the north part of the island, and on the right we have the south coast, 1,000 meters. Please be careful when crossing the road. We don't want any accidents. And at the same time for cosmetics. Vera is a name that comes from the Latin and in English means authentic or real aloe vera. In this small village, there are many cow sheds for the cattle. The soil is all cultivated, so we need to protect the work of the men in the agriculture. Everything is cultivated. You have a typical cow shed on the left hand side between the grapes, right here on the left. Every piece of land is cultivated. to show you where are the restrooms. Then we'll go to the restaurant in Porto Muniz. You will have lunch next to the natural rock swimming pools.
They have many fires. Even yesterday, they had many fires in north of Portugal. I saw in the television.
We had the same in the west of Canada. It was very dry.
And nowadays there are 2,000 in them, and for a fair distribution of water to all the farmers. Each farmer has a right to receive some minutes or some hours of water according to the size of each property. The water is not free, but it's not expensive.
Hey.
You can sign on it. Just a dribble.
Merci.
Is it better now? Yes?
See a town.
Yeah. Could be up ahead too. So you wanted supposed to be somewhere with
Portuguese is one of the most beautiful. From the soil, and they are always a problem when we have a fire.
Lots of cow pies.
from the fish. The tuna in dairy is the less expensive fish. Yes, the tuna is the less expensive fish that we have in our waters.
Taka dziewczę, to są Holland America, wszystko na takie skali, właśnie. Jak to funguje. Tam ani jedno, a pół.
On the right hand side, there are properties that cost about 1 million.